Good evening, everyone. All right, so I am racing into my office to do a podcast interview there. I'm super excited about this podcast. You all will be able to listen in next Monday is when the new podcast will load. There will be a podcast this week. It's just a solo episode, just me talking. And I am talking this week about this dating app thing and why the world is so bent on trying to push people. It's like they're trying to make this dating app a thing, and it's of other people out there. It is beyond frustrating. It is beyond frustrating. And instead of us as a collective just going ahead and admitting, okay, this dating app thing is not working, right? I don't know why we can't, as a people, as a collective people, just admit that dating apps don't work, right? Dating apps are not a way to meet quality people. I don't know why we can't just admit that and just be over it and be done with it. But for some reason, people continue to push this whole dating app thing. Yeah, dating apps. I mean, I did some research and I found out that there is a new dating app that launches every 2 days. Every 2 days, a new dating app launches. And it's like people are trying to make it a thing. And here's what I find so fascinating about dating apps is while there are millions of them, millions of dating apps, right? The percentage of people that find the one or find their husband or wife or find even a good, decent, quality man or woman is like 6%. 6% of us are finding our match, our person on a dating app. And so that's what I just don't understand. Like, why are we pushing these dating apps so hard? Only 6% of us will find our person through a dating app. So, y'all, I have to say it. I have to say what I believe is obvious, that we need to find other ways. We need to find other ways to meet people. And we need to be open to other ways to meet people. So just like people are selling this whole, Anita, you need to be open to dating apps. You need to be open. Okay, but how about if I sell you on, you need to be open to just going out. You need to be open to going out to a bar or a restaurant. You need to be able to going out to events in your city. You need to be able to go out to the grocery store or anywhere else where you can meet a human being in real life. Like, you need to be open to that. So, y'all, I just don't get it. But they keep pushing this dating app thing. And it's like, yeah, it's a thing. We want y'all to do this. You're going to meet your partner. No, you're not. 6%. Let me repeat that number again. 6% of us will find a quality man or woman on a dating app. Will meet and marry. Will be in a long-term relationship with a person we met on a dating app. 6%. So that's what I just truly, it boggles my mind why we keep thinking we're trying. It's like the movie Mean Girls, okay? And I'm dating myself here. But in that movie Mean Girls, there was a girl in the movie who was trying to make the word fetch, right? She was just trying to make that the next cool word. She kept saying fetch, And finally, Regina's like, it's not going to be a thing. Like, stop trying to make fetch a thing. Like, it's not going to be a thing. Okay? Give it up. That's how I feel about dating apps. But yet everyone has been sold this idea that dating apps are the future. That's the way we're supposed to meet people. No, it isn't. No, it isn't. And it's just like, let me give this analogy. It's just like self-checkout, right? The grocery store has self-checkout. Some people love it. I hate it. I hate self-checkout. And if stores just all of a sudden said, you know what? We're just getting rid of live people. We're getting rid of live cashiers. And the only way to check out, no matter how many groceries you have, is self-checkout. Like, they're not going to do that because they know there's lots of reasons to have real life human beings, real life people. They're not going to replace real life people with machines. Not all of them. Like, come on. And that's kind of how I feel about dating apps. So Now I have to try to convince you that, these dating apps are just not the way to go. Number one, I believe that people that are on dating apps are lazy. That's the number one reason why I absolutely despise them. I think that it's lazy. I think it's the laziest way on earth to try to meet and make a romantic connection. You are not dressed up. You are not, looking your best. You are literally sitting wherever you're sitting and you're swiping, right? And that you could be sitting in bed with a bonnet on, in your pajamas, with green face mask on your face, and you're looking at pictures of people and you're swiping and you're swiping and you're swiping. Like, man, it don't get no lazier than that. So I don't have to have the courage to get dressed up, look my best, smell good, and go out into the real world and meet real life people. Like, I don't have to do that. I can just look however I look, however crazy I look, and sit in my bed and just swipe. And, oh, this person, I'll swipe right. Oh, this person matched with me. Oh, we're going to chat now. Like, it's the laziest. Oh my God. It doesn't get any lazier than that. And then if you all happen to match, now I've got to get myself together. We've got to meet in person. We've actually got to go out and meet each other. And it's like, even then, people offer the lowest effort. They offer the lowest effort. And you know why? Because they're already used to providing the lowest effort. It doesn't get any lower than just sitting in bed at 2:00 in the morning swiping. So for you to want to go out to a really nice place or to a really interesting date, like a really fun date, well thought out, really great date, those people aren't doing that. They're like, what? We can meet up for coffee. We can walk in the park. We might go to dinner. We might go to brunch. We might, but it's lazy. It's so lazy. If you want a lazy man, meet him on a dating app and watch what type of efforts you get. So no, that's the first reason. It's lazy. Okay. And that's for the men and the women. It's lazy. It's the laziest way to meet a person. And that lazy attitude, that laissez-faire attitude is going to continue into the relationship, into the dating. And you're going to be like, oh, he's not really putting any effort. Well, you met him on an app. Number two, the dating app is addictive. And there's lots of studies now being done on it that are talking about how, and this happened to a good friend of mine actually in real life. I got to see it play out in real life, where you will use these dating apps off and on. Some people use them up to a year, up to 2 years, off and on. And they're just so used to this swiping, looking, right? So let's say you do meet someone and you all hit it off and you start dating each other and you're like, oh, wow, this person's great. Like, I'm really, enjoying this person's company. This is fantastic. 9 times out of 10, if you get bored, if you get lonely, that person's not around, guess what you're going to do? You're going to go right back into that dating app. You're going to start swiping, looking at pictures, swiping on stuff again. Here we go. Because there's a little dopamine hit. There's a little dopamine hit from doing that. And so if you've been doing it for any length of time, you've gotten addicted to doing it. Like, oh, let me see who's on here. And my friend, actually, that happened to him. He met a woman on the dating app. They were dating for 3 months. And he was like, Anita, you're never going to believe this. I was sitting around and she was off doing something else. And I just started swiping on the dating app. I don't know what I was doing. Like, I have the person. I said, precisely, but they're addictive. They're addictive. That's why you're doing that. You're used to doing this and you're used to the dopamine hit. You're used to the pictures of women, different women, the novelty of it. And so your brain just led you right back there. So no. Okay. Number 3, there's a measure of them being unsafe. And let me go here. It's true that it's unsafe to meet a man, any man you meet, whether you meet him in person or on an app, is a stranger. But at least you can feel the vibe of that person. You can intuitively feel like, okay, is this a good person? Is this person crazy? Like, there's so much more that you can get from that in-person meeting than you can with a static picture and some words. Like, it's a static picture and some words. That's it. But when you walk up on a guy or a guy walks up on you and you all are talking, or, you're noticing all the little nuances that you don't get through a dating app. Number 4, people are seen as products, like for you to consume. right? You're no longer a person. You're like a product. You're like your brand, right? And I talk all the time about women and their brand, but I don't mean it in the same way that I'm classifying it now. But yes, it's kind of like you're a product. And so, they're looking at basically the outside of you, because honestly, that's the only reason why people are swiping right, is basically what they see. Right? And maybe it might be what you wrote, but can I be honest, ladies? For women, it ain't about what you wrote. It's about what men see. Okay. So you are in fact a product to them, right? Ooh, this looks good. Ooh, this looks interesting. Ooh, like that's it. It's like, it's like going to rent a movie and just looking at the picture on the box. And we get into this mindset of consuming people like they're products. And they're people. So, okay. What else? What else don't I like about them? Let me look at your comments, because I got to run in here real quick. How do you feel about the sites that you have to pay? Therapists say those are the best. I think dating apps, period. I think regardless of whether you pay or not, I think I'll say this. Paying for the site, paying for the extra features, paying, it does unlock, I will say this. So people who are paid dating app folks, to me, those folks are a little more serious. Those folks are a little more invested. But to me, it still doesn't undo all these other things. Like all these other things, it's just not enough reason. And I say this from my own personal experience. I was on dating apps for 2 solid years. No, 2 years. I'm sorry. 2 solid years. 2 solid years. 2 solid years. I paid for 3 apps. So I meant to say 3 apps for 2 solid years. I paid for those 3 apps for 2 solid years. So I consider that giving it the old college try, right? And after 2 solid years, I did not take my profile down. I did not hide my profile. My profile was up for all to see for 2 straight years. And out of those 2 years, I went on 53 dates. Some of those dates were with different men. I went on a couple of dates with like the same man multiple times, but I mean, there were a whole lot of first dates. Can I be honest? There were a whole lot of first dates where I was like, nope, nope. And here's what's interesting about that. So out of 53, I would say probably 48 of them were first dates. And I thought to myself, man, had I met this guy in person, it wouldn't even have been a date. Had I met those 48 people live and in person, we would have never gotten to the date. And that's why I officially drew the conclusion, okay, this is definitely not for me. This is not the way I want to meet a person, because I can vet a man just in that first interaction. I can decide if I even want to date him, if I even want to get to know him. But again, on the dating app, it's like, okay, you swipe, you message, and you may talk on the phone, and then you're going on a date. But what would happen is I would swipe, they would message, I would message, we might talk on the phone, we might text a little, we'd go on a date, and it was like, see, I can feel that this vibe, I can feel that this energy is off. There's something that's just not right. But to me, if you meet the man in person, you can garner that right away. You don't need all that time to go on one date and to determine, nope. Okay, she says, I don't take men who date online seriously. Girl, I'm right with you. Can I be honest? 95% of men online are not viable. 95%. And I don't know why we won't accept that. 95% of these men have some sort of problem. They're married. They're gay. They're in a relationship. They got trauma. They got emotional issues. They have poor emotional intelligence. They're not attractive. They have bad hygiene. They don't have a job. They don't live by themselves. They have lots of reasons why they can't just roll up on a woman and get a date with her. Lots of reasons why. And to me, there's too many men hiding out on dating apps. Too many non-viable men playing around with your heart and your time on dating apps. And I don't want any parts of it. I don't have any more time to waste. To me, dating apps are a total waste of time. You want to waste some time? Go on a dating app, paid or unpaid. It's a waste of time. So she said it weakens their masculine instinct to hunt. Precisely. Thank you, Cherry Girl. See, we are the same mind. You getting a weak, you're getting a less masculine, weak man, okay? Peruse and put effort into the prize they work for. There you go. So no, men that use dating apps consistently, they are just not my cup of tea. And that's what I found. 53 dates, and most of those men were not in their masculine energy. They weren't. And there were a lot of like wounded masculine men, a lot of feminine energy men. They wanted you to reach out. They wanted you to call. They wanted you to text. So I'm going to be honest with you, ladies. If you are 100% feminine woman like I am, especially in the romantic arena, there ain't nothing there for you. It is nothing there for you on dating apps. It's just not. These men have poor emotional intelligence. They lack the bravery and the courage to go after what they want. They see dating apps women as low-hanging fruit. I'm sorry. So I had to say it, but thank you, Cherry Girl 874, for co-signing what I said. I knew I wasn't crazy. Yeah, she said 2 years is a good sample. Yeah, it was a good long time. Okay. And I just hung in there. I hung in there, y'all. I rifled through the thrift shop. It was like rifling through thrift shop stuff. I just kept looking, kept rifling, kept going through and kept going. And I said, okay, did I go over this rack? Let me go in this rack again. Because you know what it would tell you? Once you had reached the end, it would say, do you want to start over? Like, do you want to just go back and see all the people that we showed you? And I was like, okay. Because, you know, so when I tell y'all 2 straight long years, it was a waste of time. It really was. I need help with vetting a person I like. My boundaries get a little shaky when I'm attracted to them. That's all of us. But you're going to get there. And you just have to love yourself more than you love them. You do. You have to choose yourself more than you want to be chosen. So that's my advice on that. I'm going to choose me every single time. And I have some fine men in my rotation. But you know what I do? You know what I do to break myself out of that? Every now and again, I'm not available. Like they'll just, you know, I have a guy who'll come into town. Hey, I'm in town. I want to do something tonight. Oh, I've already made plans. You know, I just kind of put him off. I'm not available every time he calls me because, again, I don't want him to get in the habit of doing that. I have things to do. I got people to see. And you can't just come into town and want to hang out. And I love this man to death. But sometimes I just say no just for the heck of it. Because it kind of keeps me in check. So I don't get all crazy. Let my boundaries get loose. No. So I just say, nope. That makes sense to me, Anita, regarding men's selection on apps. Yeah, no, we got to leave them apps alone, y'all. But it's for lazy people. And girls, can I be real? Some of us get lazy. We think that Amazon should deliver our husband. And that is just not how it works. Especially if you want a good one. If you want a good one, you got to go out to these little events and to these little wine bars and to these little parties. And when your cousin invites you to the cookout and when this person invites you out and they doing this open mic night and then they go, no, you got to go. And you know what? In my mind, if you're doing all that, you earned you a good man. But see, y'all want a good man delivered through Amazon. You want a DoorDash. You want a Uber Eats. You want somebody to deliver you a good, healthy, masculine man, a masculine provider. It don't work that way. I hate to break it to you, but it don't. We have got to put in the work. You got to put in the work. You got to look good. You got to smell good. You got to be on top of your game. You have to have great conversation. You got to be about something. You got to be talking about something. You have to be interesting. But the truth is, you getting these mediocre men because you're not putting in good work. You're accepting anything. Okay, she says, black is where I say there's nothing to be attracted to if he hasn't done anything for you. Only be attracted to security, safety, and consistency. Going for looks is masculine energy. Stick to your boundaries. That's right. But y'all, leave these apps alone. Okay, like, leave them alone. And this is what is blowing my mind. Women will be on these apps and they just hate it. They hate it. They will come off and then try again. Come off and then try again. It's like going back to a bad relationship. How many times do you have to do this to see, you know what? I'm not going to meet no man on here. I'm not going to meet no good quality masculine man, no good provider man on these apps. Like, come on. It's like a sick cycle. But you got to be stronger than that. You got to say, you know what? Okay, Anita's probably right. 6%. 6% of us will meet our match on an online dating app. That's the research. Not 80%, 50%, 6%. And yet, people love to throw out, my girlfriend found her husband on there. My cousin or this person. It's 6%. They in the 6%. Most of us are not going to meet our husband that way. That's the reality check for today. Okay? You don't have to like it, but, I do research all day. I do my own personal research. So it's not just looking up other people's research. I do it for myself. That way it's not a theory. It's something that I actually lived through. But no, and they keep pushing it. And I just don't understand it, y'all. At some point, we have to wake up and go, no, that is not the way to have a healthy relationship. We must be social with each other. We must go out and do things together and meet each other face to face. That's it. It's really not that hard. She said, even the ones that check the boxes need boundaries. I'm attracted to security, emotional intelligence, and safety. Sometimes they aren't consistent. Oh, yeah. And out of those 6%, how many going 50-50? Right? Like, come on, y'all. No. Please don't. Just leave it alone. Leave it alone. Make the commitment. So this is what I'm trying to get every woman to do. Make the commitment that once a week, I go out once a week, sometimes twice a week. I spent the weekend in DC. I'm going to post some pictures. And, we went to the MGM Grand, to the casino. I went to the weekend concert up there. Like, I spent the weekend in DC. And so just make the commitment that once a week you're going to go out. Go out. That's it. Just pick something outside of your house where there are men and women and do it. Grab a girlfriend. Heck, go by yourself. But go out into the world. Let people see you. Okay? And just, y'all, I hope I brought my keys. Y'all, because I'm so all over the place. But if I did not bring my keys, okay, I did. Thank God. I was going to say I'm going to have to take my behind right back home. But I brought my keys to the office. But yeah, we got to do better. This online dating app thing is not where it's at. I'm sorry, y'all. It's just not. It's not where it's at. I'm one of the first people to say it. And look, all the little dating app companies hate me because I'm like, And then you have other dating coaches that'll say, well, I think it's one way. Like, it's not the only way, but I do think you should add it to your repertoire. I think it's a total waste of time. It's a total waste of time. I think you need to get your behind out and look, do things out in the real world and look for men the good old fashioned way. Here, the other thing, I'm going to take y'all with me. The other thing is you need to flirt. A lot of y'all don't have a clue how to flirt with a man. You don't know how to flirt with a man. You don't know how to get a man's attention. You're not approachable. Okay? So that's some of it too. Because I'm not asking you to go out here and hunt for no man. I'm asking you to look good. I'm asking for you to smile. I'm asking for you to flirt. That's it. That's all I do. I don't run after no man. But I'm out here in the world and I'm flirting and I'm looking good. Okay? All right, y'all. I'm in the building. Okay, let me see. She says, I'm going to look at some of these. Woo. All right, she says men are more likely to approach when you're out alone. That's true. That's true. That's why I travel by myself. Men don't really like approaching groups of women. 100%. 100%. I agree. Okay, I meet men all the time because I go out alone often, and I meet men very interested. All right. That's what I'm talking about. Men just stare and don't approach me. That's some men. But girl, we got to do better. We have to do better because, like I said, we can't keep doing what we're doing. This dating app thing is just not where it's at. It's just not. And I've just been telling people, like, get off of them dating apps. Make a commitment to go out. Make a commitment to go out at least once a week. Whether you go out alone, you go out with friends, but go out, get out into the world. Let people see you, look good, smell good, right? Make sure your mind is right. That's what I want people to do. All right, y'all, I am in my office. And I'm getting ready for this podcast episode. But I thank you all so much for joining me. I appreciate you all, every single one of you on the platform. I really do. I appreciate you all. And I want you to think about this message, like really think about this message. Does this message apply to you? Okay, because if you've been on dating apps for at least a year, and I mean a good solid year, and you have not met your person, that you're done. Like, can I be honest? You're done. You're probably not going to meet your person on a dating app. And I came to that realization too, because I fell for it. I fell for the marketing. I fell for the advertising of, dating apps. It's the brand new way for busy people. And that's how they sell it to y'all. Busy people to meet. Okay, what? No, I go out because to me, it's like, okay, you're saying busy people to meet, but if you are serious about finding love, if you're serious about, partnering with someone, you're not that busy. You're not that busy. So the fact that they're even selling it that way is not good because you're not that busy. You should not be that too busy to go out and make time to date, to go to events, go to social events. You're not that busy. So even the marketing is now flawed because they're selling it as, it's the busy people's way to date. I'm like, it's the lazy people's way to date. Like, that's what y'all need to say because that's the truth. People who are serious about finding a quality person, they're going to do what they need to do. So be one of those people. Make a commitment to be one of those people. She said, I need to access the man on site with the initial approach. His initial approach gives so much detail and insight into who he is as a man. For sure. For sure. And that's what I've been telling people. I've been telling everyone this. Oh my gosh, that you're going to get so much information about the man in person. And like I said, those 53 dates that I went on, 47, 48 of them wouldn't even have happened had I met those men out and in person. Because I would have recognized right away, this is not masculine. Like, it's not masculine. This is not masculine. They do a great job at their the platform on the app. They do a great job over the phone of trying to trick you. But then you go out and the real them show up and you're like, nope, this is not the person for me. So y'all, I'm just telling y'all the truth. And you may not want to hear it. You may want to keep believing the marketing, which is, this is the busy person's way to meet. And, this is the new way to meet. Now that we've been in the pandemic and you didn't have the option of going out and meeting people. Okay, but that's over. That's over. The pandemic is over. Okay. And yes, is COVID still a thing and the monkeypox and all of that? Maybe. But last I checked, like I said, I just came from DC and spent, a night with probably 100,000 people, 100,000 people in the stadium. Most of them didn't have on masks. They were just out. So yeah, I think we're okay. I think people are ready to get back out into the world and meet people. So I want to encourage you to do that too. Get out into the world and meet people. Make this one commitment. Once a week, I will do something social. I will look my best. I will smell good. I will smile. I will make sure my head is up. My face is not in my phone. I will look approachable and go out. Go out. Dating is, in fact, a numbers game. And so, yes, you might have to go out over and over and over. You might have to meet people over and over and over until, eventually someone's like, hey, wow, don't I know you? Or don't we have mutual friends? Like, that day is going to come. But I'm going to tell you what, Amazon is not delivering your husband. Okay, that's not going to happen. DoorDash ain't delivering your husband. Uber Eats is not delivering your husband. That's not how it works. You have to make effort, and you want him to make effort. That's how you know you have a masculine man. But y'all meeting all these men on dating apps, these feminine energy men. Oh, I want the woman to come to me. I want her to message me first. I want her to chase me down. No, you're not going to meet a masculine man doing that. And a huge percentage of men on apps are strictly looking to hook up. They're looking to have sex. So if that's all you're looking for, hey, it's a smorgasbord full of men. But if you're not looking for that, 95% of them are not viable. Sorry. Hate to break it to you. All right. I'm jumping into my podcast episode. Thank you so much for taking the time to listen to this live. This episode will be out next Monday at 9:00 a.m. This week's episode will be out tomorrow morning because I'm running late because I spent all weekend in DC. And we're going to talk more about this topic, about the dating app topic. That's what this week's podcast is about. So that's why I wanted to jump on live and talk with you all about it. Have a great rest of your weekend. And as always, stay open to love.